finally say it. Welcome to my house. Oh my god, here we are. Yes, after speaking for months about getting a house and stuff, I'm finally in. Well, I say I'm finally in. This house needs a bit of work, I'm not gonna lie. A little bit of decoration, a little bit of colour, few less frills. And I don't know whether this is going to be like one full long video or whether I'm going to split it up into parts and it's going to be like this DIY series. Not sure how it's going to work because quite frankly I'm a little bit overwhelmed.
Cindy below, Cindy, I just gave her a blowout.
I have sorted a few things out. So I've sorted all like the bills, the council tax, the electric, the water, blah blah blah, all the boring stuff. I've also started to ring tradesmen for various different things. So for example, I think I might need a rewire. I think the property needs some gas work and stuff, potentially new radiators, but we'll just see how it goes. Obviously I'm not gonna touch electrics and I'm not gonna piss around with gas boilers or anything like that. That's out of my reach, okay? Wouldn't trust myself. But cosmetic stuff and decorating, like for example, this fireplace, I'm gonna have to get on the floor now. This is gonna have to go. I'm not happy with it. Don't like it one bit. This fire, some people might think it's lovely and ornate and traditional and stuff. I consider something like that very old-fashioned and just a bit dated. So I think today is basically just a little introduction about it. I'm not gonna show you the entire house. You're gonna see bits as we go. And the first step I want to do today is because the ceiling has got Artex in it and I want to get rid of the Artex. I've bought an asbestos testing kit because I know this kind of stuff can have asbestos in it. So I'm going to do some tests on this and some tests on various other parts of, what's it called? The nipple ceiling.
Yeah.
Because it's everywhere. It's here, upstairs and in the kitchen. And then I think we might try and rip that fire out. And that's all I'm doing today. I think that's all I'm doing anyway. We'll see how I get on. So apparently with this, it says to read the instructions carefully and register your kit online. Collect your sample, making sure it's double bagged. Complete sample submission form and place into return envelope. Send using prepaid envelope. Once received by the lab, the results will be emailed to you. So that's fab, isn't it? This was very expensive. One thing I didn't realise, mind, I've got on my phone a spreadsheet of all my costing, or my rough costing of how much things are going to cost, just so I can keep an eye on things. Already I've like just bought things I didn't think I was going to need, so that's great. So we've got inner sample bag, outer sample bag, our little return envelope and the instructions. I'm going to have a read because obviously asbestos is quite dangerous, because you can find asbestos in all kinds of things, you know. Like it literally gives you a diagram of like all the shit you can find asbestos in. And this home was built in the 1950s, I believe, so I'm assuming it probably is going to have asbestos, and if it does have asbestos, I don't think I want to be pissing around with it. I don't know. Where did that go? Here it is. That came off really easy. One sample collected. It's very dark. The lighting in here is terrible. By the way, I'm not actually staying here at the minute while it's all like happening and stuff. I'm waiting until like the bulk of it's all done and then I'll kind of move in. I don't particularly want to live in a building site. Don't fancy it. Okay, samples have been acquired. This is actually quite easy to get off. People have been saying to us, right, oh, it's going to be like melded to the ceiling and it's going to be impossible to take off, blah, blah, blah. I took a chisel to it and it came off fine. But that's one thing I've kind of learned, or I'm learning, or getting a little bit annoyed with, is the fact that when you do buy a house, and it's your first house and stuff, and you have plans for this and that and this and that, there are a lot of people who want to share their advice and their opinions and what they would do with the place, which is lovely. But I have some pretty decent ideas of my own, and I kind of know what I want to do and what my budget allows us to do, so
fuck off!
Sometimes I just wish people would keep their ideas to themselves just a little bit. And if I want, I'll ask someone for some advice or someone's opinion, but until I do, then
fuck off!
It's been happening a lot recently and it's just bothering us just slightly. Anyway, I'll get this all packaged up and sent off, and I think we'll tackle the fireplace next. I might even try and get a little bit of the wallpaper off. Why not? I've got a mallet and I've got a chisel. I think that'll take it off. Fortunately, it's all one piece. So I think under here, I don't know whether it's actually laid on the carpet or whether it's got something underneath it, I don't know. By the way, if you're wondering if I've got like a nice fancy parquet wooden flooring under here, which would be delicious, I don't. It's completely concrete. I've already checked and I've already been thoroughly disappointed. I didn't think there was going to be like a hole behind there, but there's still a hole behind there and it's so filthy and dirty, and I also don't really want to look up it. I think it might be a bit scary. There's no dead animals, so I'm happy about that. Why did I start with the fireplace for? I don't know. I was just fixated on this and I knew I wanted to get rid of it. So that's what I've decided I'm doing today. Also, can I cut a plug? Am I allowed to do that? Or will I get electrocuted? Would anyone like a little statue? I'm tempted to keep something like this from the house just as like a little thing, but I don't know whether I want this. Oh no. I dropped her and her head came off. I actually like it better without a head. Top tip, sometimes you just need a bit of brute force. I feel like this is going to take all the plaster off, which I didn't really want, so that means I'm going to end up having to replaster. And that's not in my budget, so that's fun. I've got the bulk of it out. Some of it's in a little stronger than I thought it was going to be in. I don't know how to get the bottom bit off. I'm absolutely shattered. To be fair, that only took us 25 minutes to rip that out. That's not bad, is it? To be fair, you know, I think that looks better and it looks nicer as it is. Like a nice brick thingy. I don't want a fireplace because I'm going to like border it in, but I don't know, that's canny that. I prefer that to the like hideous wooden thing. Again, not that I'm going to keep it, but I was just thinking if you took all that wall back to brick and then had like a nice like fireplace ledge thing, whatever they're called, I don't know what they're called. Mantelpiece, that's the word I'm thinking of. That would be a nice feature, wouldn't it? But I'm glad I got that out. I need a breast now. I need a breast. I need a rest, because I'm knackered. And then I think we'll try and tackle some wallpaper. That wallpaper actually, although it's quite thick, it's like a very thick paper, I think it's going to come off easy. I'm really hoping it just peels off. Oh, it would make my life so much easier. I do have a feeling it might take the plaster off though, so that's unfortunate. But that's fine, never mind, we'll see. I don't understand though, because this thing here, that's not plaster, that. I think that's more paper.
Honey, you've got a big storm coming.
Yeah, that's absolutely, it's just the back of that paper, isn't it? This isn't going to come off as easy as I thought. Alright, well, I'll just try and get the bulk off, I suppose. At the end of the day, I don't really have a plan at the moment, because I'm waiting on all the other people to come round who, you know, need to give us advice on the bits, like the rewire and stuff. So today was just a bit of a piss around day. And I've done quite a bit for a piss around day, haven't I? I also want to get rid of this. I know this is kind of all the fashion and stuff to have these dado rails back in, but I don't particularly like this specific one. And also, how I'm going to have this room, it's just going to get in the way, so I'm going to get rid of that too. I may as well get rid of that now. I'm not going to lie, I'm making pretty good progress, and I'm also making an absolute mess. Such a mess. So I think I'm just going to basically do exactly the same with the entirety of this room. And then I think I might go home because I've got like loads of other bits to do. And then I might see you on another day. I don't know what that day will be. I don't know when that day will come. And I don't know what we'll be doing on that day. Because I don't even think I was supposed to do this today. This is the great thing about having your own house. You can just do whatever the hell you want. Like I literally can just take a hammer to a wall if I wanted to. It's not a good sign of things to come really, is it? I have a feeling I'm going to need to either attempt to plaster this wall myself or get someone in to do it, because I've pulled, I don't even know what I've pulled off. I've pulled something off. I'm not a builder, so this is all new to us.
Someone help me!
It's fine, don't worry. Everyone just calm down. So it's a brand new day, and Ant's been very busy. I'm zoomed far too in. I was as close as I can get. I look like shit. It's fine, I don't mind. If you can see, I have destroyed the curtains. The curtains are now off, and the walls are looking a bit shitty. One thing I've realised, mind, I'm gonna have to sit down, my legs are killing. Look at me! One thing I've realised is the people who lived in here previously couldn't decide where they wanted the curtains. I have pulled so many wall plugs out of these walls, it's unreal. It's taken me ages. I hate you! But anyway, it's been quite a productive day today. I've had the electric people out to give us a quote on a rewire. I've had the TV people out to give us a quote on like TV stuff. And I've had the gas people out to give us a quote on gas stuff. And at the moment they haven't obviously given us the prices, so I'm hoping it's going to come within budget, otherwise I'm not going to be able to afford a couch or cushions or any fun stuff. This is my kitchen, by the way. Isn't it nice? Look at them curtains. Oh my god, gorgeous. I have to pull every single one of these tiles off eventually. Don't you feel sorry for us? My asbestos test hasn't come back yet, so don't know about that. And also, there's so much wallpaper. One thing I've realised about the people who used to live here is that if there was something on the the wall, they would just wallpaper over it. So if there was a wire, wallpaper over it. If there was a nail, wallpaper over it. They just wallpapered over everything and anything. However, saying that, mind, the walls, I feel, are in pretty good condition. The one thing though I have found, in this corner of the living room, if we see down here, the wallpaper came off very easily because Ant's got a lot of damp and a lot of mold.
Yay!
And I've even bought like a little damp detector, which I was terrified, right? Because I did this all over the house and it was saying that the entire house was damp and moldy and wet, and I had it on the wrong setting.
What are you?
An idiot sandwich.
I had it on a wood setting instead of a wall setting. But if we look, very damp. It's all up this wall, and I'm thinking it's something to do with the brickwork outside. I've had a look at the bricks and they look a bit suspicious. So I've got some people coming out tomorrow to give us a quote on that, to see what that's about and whether it needs fixing and how to fix it and what I should do, really, because I have no idea. And that's something I hadn't planned and hadn't budgeted for, so that's fun too, isn't it? I'm hoping this rewire cost and the plumbing cost, I hope it's like £1,000 less than I'm thinking. That would be really nice. If it's £1,000 more than I'm thinking, no couch for Ant. No couch at all. Not even a rug. I'm telling you, this budget is tight, and I'm doing all of this like redecorating myself. And the plumbing people were like, oh, well, what we'll do is we'll come in, do a bit, and then we'll leave you for a couple of days to get your decorating done, and then come in and do the final bits. I was like, I'm going to need more than a couple of days. I'm going to need a couple of years. But that's fine. You know, Rome wasn't built in a day. I'm pretty sure I've already used that saying, and I have a feeling I'm going to say that saying a lot. But we'll see what happens. My back's really hurting. I'm going to spend another like hour or so here tonight and just like strip some more walls and take more wall plugs out of the walls. I swear down, wall plugs. Wall plugs! They're the bane of my life. My mum has been over this morning though, and she's like had a look at the place, and she took away some rubbish for us, and I've already started collecting them again. I think she needs to come back over and take them. It's fine, I'll take them eventually when I can be bothered to go to the tip. That's one thing as well, because obviously this house is about half an hour away from where I actually live. So driving back and forth to this house and to like B&Q and Tool Station and Screwfix and the range, I am spending so much money on fuel. Like my petrol bill is going through the roof, and I can't afford it, okay? But anyway, I'm gonna tackle these walls a bit more before I give up, and then, you know, figure something out. I'm back here tomorrow anyway, even though I didn't want to come back tomorrow, but the joys of doing everything on your own. I wish I could clone myself, that'd be really handy. Anyway, I'll see you another day for more updates on my gorgeous house, which doesn't look gorgeous yet, but it's going to look lovely, okay? This is going to be so colourful. You have no idea how colourful this house is going to be. I'm going to proper decorate the shit out of it. So it's another new day at the house. I feel like I'm going to be saying that quite a bit in this series or this very long video. I don't know what I'm doing still. And I've had a little bit of progress. So the asbestos thing that I sent off and stuff, that's weirdly, surprisingly come back clear. So I don't have asbestos in the ceiling, which I'm shocked about, because my original idea, so all of this stuff up here, I was actually originally just going to kind of sand it down and chisel it off and stuff and make it nice and smooth and then kind of paint over it. And to be fair, I think that might be a bit of an ass on. So what I'm planning on doing now, eventually, is I'm going to just skim over the ceiling with a bit of plaster and then just do it that way and freshen it up and stuff. And I'll need to do that in a lot of places in the house because there's a lot of popcorny shit everywhere. Another thing that happened is I've got the rewire people all booked in, and they're coming on Monday, so it's currently Tuesday at the moment. So during that week I won't be able to get anything done in the house, and I've also bought loads of new lights, so all my light fixtures will be replaced. And although I kind of wanted to keep these rose things, they might potentially not work with the lights that I'm getting, so they might end up going. I'll try and salvage them, but if they go, they go. I'm not particularly asked. What else has happened? Oh, I've had the bathroom people out. One company I was going to go with, they had like bathrooms at an affordable price apparently. I rang them, right, and I said, oh, you know, I'm just looking for a bathroom and I've moved property, blah blah blah. And they said, I'll stop you there, just letting you know our bathrooms start at between 10 and 12 grand. And I was like, how can your bathroom start at between 10 and 12 grand when you haven't even seen what you're going to actually need for that specific bathroom? So I was like, alright, well, you can piss off, you're not getting my business. So I've gone with someone else, and this bathroom's ended up costing me
£1 million.
more money than I originally planned, and it's kind of booked in. We've penciled in for November. It's currently the very end of September at the moment, so we'll see where that goes. To be fair, it went over budget because I decided I wanted certain things. In fact, I don't think you've been to the bathroom, have you? I'll show you the bathroom. Let's just have a little wander through my house. Oh my god, my gorgeous house. There'll be lots of old-fashioned stuff in the background. That's not staying, I'm sorry. Like all this gorgeous wallpaper. All this, by the way, all this is wallpaper that I need to strip in the entire house. And I haven't even done one room yet. So here is my bathroom. Oh my god, gorgeous. Wait for it. Flamingo! Different, isn't it? It's different, it's not staying. It's not staying at all. And I'm not really going to touch much in this bathroom. I think I'm going to end up doing a bit of painting and stuff. But my plan is to get all the toilet and the sink ripped out. And I'm just going to have like a vanity sinky bit here with like a feature light up mirror here with some lights on the side. All the tiles are coming off. And then I'm going to rip the bath out and have a walk-in shower because I'm not a bath kind of person. The radiator's behind this door. It's just like a little epoxy radiator. I'm going to change that to like a nice towel rail. And then in here is the boiler. And my original plan was to move the boiler and get a new boiler, but as the budget's gone on, I've realised things cost way more money than I thought they were going to cost. Like an insane amount of money. If you're ever buying a house and you're renovating it and stuff, if you think you've got a really healthy budget, which I do by the way, I consider I've got a really healthy budget, it's not enough. It's not enough at all. So I'm not getting a new boiler, because the boiler's fine, to be fair. It's probably got another few years left in it, and I'm not moving it either. I was going to move it to the kitchen, but then it doesn't really make sense because the kitchen's quite small, and then I would just be like adding more stuff to the kitchen, but I just don't like a boiler upstairs, I don't know. So yeah, that's what's kind of happening at the minute with the house. I'm currently still just working on this one room, which I'm getting there, you know. I'm starting to take all the wallpaper off still, and if you look up here, look at the state of this. I'm going to scare people, I'm really sorry. I've just seen it today. Where you at? Can you see that? Look at the size of that spider. What a beast. Oh dear. And it is on a wall that I need to get the wallpaper off, so it's going to have to move. And I don't want to splat it because I feel like it'll make a crunch, so I'm going to have to try and capture it and chuck it outside. And I think the plan for today is I want to get this entire room finally done. I want to get all the wallpaper off. I think I might try and get the, what's it called, the coving stuff. I'm going to try and get that off the walls and potentially start to fill some holes. And the good thing about today is I don't have any distractions. I don't have anyone coming around the house. I've had so many people coming in to do quotes and blah blah blah. So I think I can just crack on and get shit done. In fact, what I'll do is I'll pop you on my tripod and I'm going to show you how I remove wallpaper because I feel like I've finessed my technique. So exhibit A, we have a wall here. I've managed to take the thick bit of paper off, so it was like a chunky textured wallpaper, and that was very easy to come off. However, it's left this shit behind it, like all this like scabby paper that I've been trying to get off. And how I've been finally doing it, I take an old paintbrush, just a scabby paintbrush. I've got a bucket of wallpaper stripper mixed with water, so it's like a neat wallpaper stripper. Just generously give that a good scrub. Yeah, get it right in there. And then I would leave it for a couple of minutes. I don't want to leave it too long because I still want it to be quite damp and wet when I'm peeling it off. And then I just scrape it. I have avoided using one of them steam wallpaper removers because apparently it can blow the plaster. And also, it doesn't look like it's particularly quick. I think it looks like an ass on. I think my technique's quite efficient as long as you don't let this dry, because if it dries then you have to repeat it again. But then if you just do a little scrapey, it's not too bad, is it? I think that's quite easy. There might be professionals out there watching this home renovation series, and I'm sure they've probably already left a comment saying they would do it this way, they would do it that way, that's the wrong way to do things, and that's fine, that's great. You do it the right way on your house. I'm gonna just do it the way I feel like I can do it in my house. I don't have the money to pay professionals, okay? That's why it's called DIY, just do it myself. I think I'll do an okay job though. I think I'll be alright. But anyway, I'm not gonna chat. I'm gonna remove the spider and skim all these walls and get loads and loads of shit done today because I really need to. This is the day I really need to solidly work at this room. Oh, it's so big. I swear if this jumps on us. Oh my god, I'm terrified. I'm literally terrified. Come on. Is it in? Oh my god, I think I got it. if anyone needs any giant spiders removing from the house, you can hire us, I don't mind. I successfully got rid of that one. I did hyperventilate a little bit because it was so big. I don't mind spiders, but that one was huge. That one felt like it would go for my jugular, you know? But anyway, spider gone, I can start removing wallpaper. Well, after that, I feel like I deserve a little bit of a break. I've got my little packed lunch that I prepared last night, and you'll be happy to know that I've finished stripping all the wallpaper off the walls, finally. To be fair, I haven't found any like weird surprises, so I like that. I don't like being surprised in house renovations. A surprise in a house renovation, not good at all. One thing I was surprised about is, you know the coving up there, the green stuff? I thought that was the colour of the actual coving. It's not, and this won't be a surprise to everyone, but it's wallpaper, so they've wallpapered the coving as well. I swear down, what was the obsession with people in wallpapering? I'm actually going to be doing a bit of wallpapering in here. I know I'm slagging off wallpaper and stuff, but my wallpaper is going to be nice, and also I'm not going to have it floor to ceiling, on the floor, literally everywhere. But anyway, I am going to have a little bit of lunch. Look at that. I prepared this earlier, nice wrap. And then once I've been fed and watered, because that's very important, I'll finally tackle the coving and start plugging some holes. The only bit of wallpaper I haven't got off is behind the radiators because I don't fully know how to get a radiator off the wall yet. So that's something I'm going to need to learn. Also, I do have a weird feeling over in that side of the room where the coving is, the pipes also go up through the ceiling, and I have a very strong suspicion. In fact, I'm almost 95% sure as soon as I take that coving off, there's going to be a giant hole in the wall/ceiling. So that's something I'm going to have to fix. Do I know how to fix giant holes in wall/ceilings? I've never done it before, so, you know, I can always learn. I'll practice, it's fine. I'm just curious, people don't hide like wires and pipes behind coving, do they? Just in case I go through one. I don't think they do. We'll soon find out. Ah, the shit is welded on. For some reason, I thought this stuff was going to be like the dado rails, and it was just going to like, as soon as I did a couple of taps, it was just going to fall off. No. And the thing is as well, coving, some coving, it's made out of like polystyrene. Why couldn't this have been made out of polystyrene? Oh wait there, it's hollow on the other side. So this might not be too bad actually. I think I've gotten through like the bulk of it. Okay, so under there isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. It's basically just the walls that connect to the ceilings. There's no like hidden crazy shit, which I'm relieved about. However, this stuff is cemented all the way around, and it's going to take me hours to take it off. But I don't want it. It's not going to go with my vision. I know I'm being very stubborn, but it's not going to be right. And I've made a start now anyway, so I can't just leave a random hole in it, can I? Alright, well, I'll meet back in a couple hours, and we'll see if I've got any hair left. Okay, I'm not quite done yet, obviously. I do have a hole in the ceiling, which I created by mistake. I didn't mean to put a hole in the ceiling, but I can finger my ceiling. That's how much of a hole there is. And then also there's some exposed pipe work along there, which I was kind of expecting. It's not as bad as I thought. But the reason why I'm stopping here is because I wanted to give people a pep talk. Ugh. Because I was at the point of giving up. I'm not gonna lie, I was exhausted. It was really hard to do, and I was just like, it was just bitty, it was pissing us off, and I was like, oh, I can't be bothered. And then anyway, I decided to persevere, took a little break, and then I was like, oh, I need a hammer drill, shall I move on to something else and come back to this, etc, etc. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna continue. And I finally come up with like a little technique that works. And all you do is along the side where it's kind of plastered to the wall, or cemented in this case, just literally tap with your chisel and just loosen it all the way along, and then just yank it off. Look at that giant piece I got off all in one. I was proper chuffed, I was over the moon. I think the only thing I'm finding a little bit difficult is the angles, because I'm up like touching the ceiling and my hands are like doing this, and I've hit my hand so many times with the mallet, but I'm getting there. I just wish I had more muscles because my arms are incredibly weak. But I just wanted to do a little pep talk. Anyone who's confronted with anything, don't give up, just continue. I don't think you realise what you're capable of. But anyway, I'm going to whack on the tunes and I'm going to chip away at this coving. I reckon I'm going to get it all done today. So, today is over, and guess what? I have managed to get all the coving off the walls. Yay! You have no idea how much my back and my arms hurt. Like, I didn't realise how weak and unfit I was. I feel knackered. My body physically hurts. I don't understand how anyone... Hang on a second. Oh my god. I don't understand how anyone can be like a labourer, like a painter, decorator, plasterer, builder, plumber, electrician. I don't know how you go to work day in, day out. I don't know how you do it. I swear down, I feel I can't even be asked to drive home. I might just sleep here in amongst the like rubbish and wallpaper shavings. Also, I was slightly worried because obviously I tested the ceiling for asbestos and it came back negative. But if you look there, you can kind of see that the coving was obviously put in after the speckly ceiling shite. And I do know that coving and various other things like tiles and stuff, they can have asbestos in them. And I didn't kind of click until about 2/3 of the way around the room, and I was like, oh my god, what happens if this coving's got asbestos in? However, it's branded on the back of it. So on the back of here, it says British Gypsum. British Gypsum? Yes. And I googled this, and apparently British Gypsum have never used asbestos, according to themselves, in their products. So I think I'm okay. Well, it's tough tits anyway, I've done it now, isn't it? So, but I'm quite pleased and quite proud of what I've got done today. I know the place looks an absolute shit tit, and most people would be terrified at this point. But for me, weirdly enough, I'm just feeling very positive and optimistic and happy.
It won't last.
But I just love the thought of free will. Like, I can literally do basically anything I want. I've never had that before, literally never ever had that before, and it's just really, really freeing. It's massively freeing actually, it's hugely freeing. So I think that's why I'm enjoying it so much. Other people wouldn't, because it's a lot of work and it's a bit of an arse on and stuff, but it doesn't really bother us. I wish my body wasn't hurting so much though. That's the only thing that's bothering us at the moment, the fact that my body is just, it hates us, really hates us. So it's a brand new day in the house and I've already been busy, as you can see. I'm trying to tidy up a little bit. Hang on a minute, I'll take this off. Well, I'll try to take it off. Look at me, I'm so not graceful at all. Yes, so I've already been tidying up this morning. So if you see there, I've been busy collecting all my rubbish and just tidying up a tiny bit. It was very, very dusty. In today's plan, I've got a person coming out to see the bathroom, to do like a bathroom survey or something like that. I don't really fully understand what it is. I'm also going to attempt today to tackle, I don't know where, have you seen the kitchen? This is the kitchen. It's very small. It's just like a little weird tiny kitchen. However, it is covered floor to ceiling in tiles, these hideous ugly tiles, and I don't want them at all. So I'm going to try my best today to chip them all off, and hopefully that's an easy job. Fingers crossed. And then another thing I'm kind of curious about as well is in the living room. So down here you're going to be able to see like all this piping up here, and it goes from the radiator into the wall and it goes all the way up into the boiler. However, the previous owner, I don't know who they had do this job, but they didn't do a very good job because the pipes are actually like half sticking out the wall and it just hasn't been chased into the wall properly. And I didn't realise that until obviously I pulled the wallpaper off, because obviously they wallpapered over the pipes. So I'm wondering whether I should get someone out to do that, because I don't trust myself to do that job. I don't think me and a saw and a wall in a house with a water pipe, that's just recipe for disaster. There's certain things I will try my hand at, but then there's certain jobs that I get to and I'm like, no, don't trust myself, I need a professional. So yes, I think that's basically all today's going to be really. I don't think it's going to be that exciting, just again, stripping shit from the house. I can't wait to get to the point where like I paint a wall, that'll be fun. Right, I mean business. It's time to remove some tiles. My eyes aren't going to get injured from this. Isn't it weird, me taking health and safety so seriously?
Yes, it is.
I'm assuming once one's off, they'll all come off very easily. I just don't really know where to start. Okay, the wall behind doesn't look too bad. You know what, these houses, this was built in what, the 1950s? Built pretty decently, you know. Ta-da! One tile down, a million more tiles to go. They must have spent a fortune on tiles, you know, because literally, is it every wall's covered in tiles. Is the ceiling? I'm surprised the ceiling isn't. This is actually the only room in the entire house that doesn't have wallpaper. Hang on a second, I don't believe that for a second, because this house has wallpaper everywhere. So I'll probably find some, I'll find some hidden somewhere. Under the tiles, there'll probably be a layer of wallpaper somewhere. So it's my favourite time of the day. Lunchtime. Made myself another wrap and I've got my little lunchbox here. Also, this is one thing I have bought for the house which just makes me feel like nice, you know? So I bought some mugs. Oh, look at that, I'm having a coffee out of my brand new mug. This mug is symbolic of the house. Can't wait for the house to resemble the mug. And I've managed to get like a bit of the tiles off the kitchen, so that's good. I've also had the bathroom people out and they've like measured up and done their bits, and I've asked them some questions and stuff, like whatever. I have managed to, I don't know whether you'll be able to see it, that's the door that goes into the kitchen, and at the top of the door there on the other side, I'm almost like coming through it a little bit. I've taken the tiles off and like some of the plaster and that, and kind of see the brickwork, and I'm just gonna like shove loads of filler in and just hope for the best. Oh my god, it's so windy. Calm down.
Yesterday.
Also, if you can see, I've been tidying up as I'm going, so there's all the tiles that I've taken off so far. I think that's one thing I would recommend to people. If you're doing a renovation, tidy as you go. As soon as things look like a little bit put away and you can kind of see everything, it just makes you feel a lot better than standing on a ton of shit and just falling over things all the time. But anyway, lunchtime, YouTube, and then more tiles. So one thing I'm realising about these tiles, and by the way, I'm not a builder and I'm not in construction, so I have no idea how like a house is built, but for me, in my mind, you would have the ceiling that connects to the walls, and then you would tile the wall, and then maybe run like a bit of silicone or something just to kind of seal it in towards the end. This tiling goes under the ceiling, which I find strange, and I don't understand why it's like that for. So now it feels like the tiles are holding up the ceiling, and I don't think that's good. Like I can see boards and like joists and stuff as I'm taking these tiles down, and I don't like that. I don't like that at all. And look at the state of that. That can't be right, can it? Like I can literally see through the ceiling. It's almost like the ceiling is balanced on top of the tiles. So does that mean when I take all these tiles off, the ceiling's gonna fall down? And if the ceiling comes down, does the next floor come down? And it makes me think that the tiles were here before the ceiling. I don't know, it's just very confusing. The way it's built is weird. And also, look at this, it's cute. I think the kitchen used to be green or blue, there's some paint there. And also this thing, I was quite terrified of knocking the tiles off that because I have a funny suspicion there's a gas pipe behind there. I don't think I want to get close to a gas pipe with a hammer and chisel, do I? And also, they've just tiled over just wood. This is just timber. There's no plaster, there's no nothing on it. They've just tiled over normal wood, and I don't think you're allowed to do that. But anyway, I'm not going to record too long because I'm going to have too much footage and I'm going to run out of space on all my memory cards. I've already had to delete loads of shit. So I'm going to continue chipping away at these tiles, and fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Oh, also, look at this. I've been so hard at work. My glove's got a hole in it now, and I'm not even protected anymore. Okay, I've got about another 2 hours. I reckon I can get all these tiles off the kitchen in 2 hours. It's been quite a productive day, actually. I wasn't really feeling it today. I'm a bit tired and stuff, but I don't know, I feel like I've gotten a lot done today. So we are done for yet another day, and surprisingly I have managed to take all the tiles out of the kitchen. Look at that, the entire thing, floor to ceiling, gone. Also, I've just realised I've injured myself. I don't know what's happened there. I dread to think how many other cuts and stuff that have happened because the amount of tiles and like fragments that I've been like flicking at my face. I'm surprised I haven't got cuts on my face, to be fair. And removing the tiles wasn't too bad. The window area was really hard. I've managed to take off these things. I don't know whether these are important. At one point when I took them off, I thought my window might fall out, but it's still there, so I think these are okay to come off. But it's tough tits, they're off now. The ceiling is still up above me, so that's nice. Some of the tiles did feel load-bearing, but I think they were okay. So it's a brand new day in the house, yet again, I know. And to be fair, I've been quite busy this morning already. I've done a tip run. Got rid of a load of tiles and a load of other shit. I've also tidied up the kitchen this morning from the mess I made last night. And then also, because the rewire people are coming tomorrow, I've been trying to figure out where my lights are gonna go and kind of do a few markings just so they know what I want tomorrow, because I don't plan on being in the house. And then also, I think what I might do is start a new part of the house, the hallway, because obviously obviously, everything's covered in wallpaper and just start like chipping away at it. I may as well, because when the rewire people come, I can't be here because the place is going to be an absolute mess. So I'm going to have like a week off. Also, have you seen this? Look, so you come to this part of the house, right? And there's like 3 doors. There's a door here, and like a random little door here under the stairs. Look where this door goes. It's the thinnest, shallowest little cupboard on planet Earth. Like what? What do you even put in there? I was going to knock this through and like do something a little bit better with it, but I don't have the budget for that, and costs are escalating, so we're going to keep things to a minimum as much as we can. I'll just have to have a little weird shallow cupboard for the time being. Don't know what I'll put in there. Maybe it's my jacket, I suppose. I can already see wall plugs. Why are the wall plugs in the ground? Like at the bottom of the floor. There's 3 of them and there's nothing in them. I swear down, this house's foundations are made of wall plugs. I think this entire house is made of wall plugs, actually. I think when they decided to build this, they were like, you know what? We won't use brick for this house. We'll just build it of wall plugs. The amount of wall plugs I've come across is absolutely phenomenal. I hate wall plugs now. You have no idea. In fact, I can't spend too long here today because I need to do another tip run and they close early for some stupid reason. It's like the window opening hours. Just realised there's a massive hole where my window is. And I have consulted with an expert, my dad, about the ceiling up at the top. I don't know whether you can see that, look at the state of it. And apparently the void up there, and there is a void, like there's just loads of like crumbly shit. Apparently I can just fill that with expanding foam, which I thought about doing, and the fact that I can do that kind of rests my mind a little bit, because that's cheap and that's easy as well. I can do that. I love expandable foam. I don't know where I'm gonna get all this money from, you know. My bank balance is massively draining, like seriously, but figure it out, I suppose. It's a future ends problem. So I'm making quite the progress, taking this wallpaper off, and you might be thinking to yourself, under there, under that cupboard, there's absolutely no way they've wallpapered under there. Oh, they have. They've wallpapered under there too, so that's a right pain in the ass to get off. And you might be wondering why I'm getting rid of all the wallpaper. Just paint over it. It's just cheap, easy to paint over it, because I think wallpaper hides a multitude of sins. And another problem I've come across is the front of the house is also damp. And I'm really annoyed because I can't afford to get more things fixed, but this entire wall, and it's not even just a bit damp, it's very damp, very wet. And it goes all the way up. So I don't know what to do about that. I do have the damp people coming out the week after next. So hopefully they might be able to give us a bit of advice and potentially feel really sorry for us and fix it for free. That would be really nice, wouldn't it? I don't think they will, but they might do it for like a discounted price because I'm already getting them to do certain things on the house. You think you know what everything's going to cost and like how everything's going to go, and you just don't. You really don't. Things just surprise you all the time. I'm still enjoying it. I just wish I had more money. That's what I basically wish for. But you know what? I think I'm going to say that this is the first video of this house renovation, demolition, etc. And in next week's video, I'll hopefully have the entire place rewired. I'll have some nice new light fixtures to show off. The damp might potentially be addressed, and I'll have hopefully just made a bit more progress. But if you are enjoying this DIY home renovation series so far, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you next week for some more house adventures. I wonder how to make more money. Like I could do with just finding some money. Where do I find money from? Apart from working another job, because I don't want to work another job. I work too many jobs. And I'm not doing porn. I refuse to do porn. It's just not what I fancy. I'll figure it out. It'll be fine. If I have a damp wall, then I have a damp wall.